What is going on, guys? Popson87 here, and today I'm bringing a different sort of video. This is MRL, the Motorsport Racing League, I believe it stands for, and they basically just do classic races on a Wednesday evening. And I wasn't actually going to do their Season 2. I did some of the races in Season 1, I couldn't do all because of work or whatever. But I haven't signed up for Season 2, but I was free yesterday evening, and I was like, what the hell, asked if I could join in, and they let me, which is quite nice of them. I knew it would be a good car, this Renault 2006, and I mean, it is a really nice car. I really like how it drives, and it sounds pretty amazing. I definitely want to drive this car more in this game, because it's definitely an underrated car. But Japan also a good circuit, and one where you can definitely test out the handling of this classic car. So there's a few other reasons why I uploaded this video. One of them you'll see by the end, as it will be mixed with a steward's inquiry, which will affect the end of the race. I won't say how, watch through to the end if you want to see how it affects that. But also because it's a pretty good race as well. So this is my qualifying lap around the Suzuka circuit. It's not the best lap in the world. I mean, I didn't do any practice. I only did like 2 laps in time trial to get a setup, and that was it. And the setup is, I believe, 9 ballast, 2 weight wings. I know, we'll double check when I'm on the grid. But this is it's a decent lap so far, not the quickest. I feel like it can definitely go quicker, but it's definitely a good benchmark time. Let's go through the final chicane now, hopping over the curbs. Very nice on the traction. We're going across the line. We're moving from 7th to P2 in front of Pres BC and behind New Zealand Blood 8, who I've never actually raced it before. Don't actually know who it is. There was some speculation it was New Zealand Ryan, but I'm like 99% certain that is not New Zealand Ryan. So yeah, we go out for a final run and we encounter a car that's retired by the side there. I believe that's X-Steel. And we get a 5-place grid penalty because of that, and I was fuming. I was real angry about that because I felt like I definitely deserved that P2 and on the grid, and unfortunately we didn't have time to get round to start another lap, and I feel like I could have definitely gone quicker, and New Zealand Blood Ace is only a 10th ahead of me. If I had started that lap, I feel like I could have definitely done better there. But unfortunately, it's not going to be P2, it's going to be P7 or 8 on the grid I'm starting. Which is really annoying. At the time, I felt pretty bad about that. I mean, I was blaming the penalty system at the time, but looking at it, X still really should have probably looked behind him before retiring. It happens. The car should have also not taken him back to the circuit. It's just the way it is. So that's my setup. Pretty aggressive. There will be rain at the end of the race. If it was a full drive race, then it would be a 1-stop. The strategy is just a 2-stop, but tyre wear isn't that bad. So really, it will be a 1-stop, 50% race, starting P7 on the grid. Behind X-Steel, we've got Mitchie 950 behind us. Let's see how we will go. So slides on away we go, and it's a bloody awful start, really. Mitchie has jumped us off the line. We've got another car flying on the inside, that's Calbo. And we're completely bogged down. Going to turn 1. Now, Kelbo, what line was that, buddy? That was a pretty bad line. And lucky for us not to get damaged. We really got a warning for track limits, which is a bit annoying, considering we lost so much time. But whatever. That's just the track limits in this game. Someone's gone wide there. I'm not quite sure who that was. As now we've got Steve Bingham coming straight behind us. As we now have Carbo ahead. And a few other guys as well. Let's see if we can pick a few positions by the end of this lap. It's been a bloody awful start, down to P9. That's not what we wanted, especially considering we are meant to be starting P2 in this race. The Calbo has gone to the gravel there, through the second Degner, and now we're behind Proza, or I believe it used to be the Proza from F1 2016 days. It's another gamer tag which I don't recognise, and he just got position on Mitchie 950 there, and now jumping up to lap 2, they're battling for P6 ahead. As we're going through turn 1, I don't know why we opened the steering there, but we got completely awful road for turn 1. Once again, another track limits warning, and it still has got past us, which is bloody annoying, but that's just the way it is. Now, halfway through lap 2, gravel it again. So we're really struggling at the start of this race. Just the pace wasn't there, and I was just struggling to adapt with the heavy fuel load. Well, X-Still there makes a pretty bad mistake himself through the second Degner. And we get the position back up into P7. So yeah, another thing which is also slowing us down this race is we did put on extra fuel, and the fuel just simply isn't burning in this car. I believe after lap 3, we just ran rich the entire time, and we still had an excess of fuel. Let's look up the inside of Proza there, and that was a very ambitious move, and it just didn't stick. Although Proza there runs wide into the second deck now, we get the position up to P6 now behind Mitchie 950. We're actually not that far off the lead still. Like, the leaders are only about 5-10 seconds ahead, and now behind Mitchie, and we should be looking to get the move at some point soon. Although Mitchie there runs right out of the exit turn 2, and that's an easy position. So everyone else making mistakes around me in this part of the race, and we're just gaining the positions. Now we've got Benny F1 up in for a spot in the top 4, and that's a very nice run through the second chicane as Blood Ace gets the fastest lap of the race. He's battling with Penske for the win. Then we got Prez BC in P3. But look at the slipstream now. Look at the inside of Benny F1. He leaves the room, so thanks to him. And that's a nice, easy position there. So that's my first actual proper overtake of this race on lap 8 or lap 6, I believe. I don't know. Look, I can't really tell on this small preview screen. I definitely need to get a bigger desktop screen in the future. That's definitely what I want to aim to do. As this just is a pretty annoying moment. But started to get the undercuts on Prez BC. They're almost sped into the pit lane. That was very close. Penske, meanwhile, pitted on the same lap as me. Blood Ace is staying out a little bit longer, and so is Prez BC. So top 4, not too far, not spaced out too far apart, which is pretty good. And let's see how we rejoin on the circuit. Got a few people staying out a little bit longer, probably trying to extend their stint a little bit. Bear in mind, we picked a little bit earlier than we were intending to, purely because the rain will be coming. Jeff has said a few minutes ago that the rain is appearing in about 10-15 minutes time. So we should be switching onto wet tyres before the end of this race. But meanwhile, we have Connor straight ahead of us, who's yet to pit. And look at the slipstream, but he just slows down and lets us pass, which is real good from Steve Bigham. And we're up back into P6, I believe. We've got Penske about 2-3 seconds up the road. Let's see if we can hunt him down. But meanwhile, I believe we've got Prez BC in the pit lane, and let's see if we've jumped him. We have got the undercut, and the fresh tyres are feeling pretty good at this stage. As coming out of the pit lane now, have we jumped him? Yeah, it's not even in the pit lane exit, so it must have made a mistake on his in laps. That's pretty unfortunate for him. Either that or he's got like a 5-second stop go or something. I'm not quite sure. He's run quite wide there on the exit turn 2, but it doesn't stop us from that setting the fastest lap of the race at the end of that lap. And we are slowly cutting into Penske's advantage over us. Just a tenth or two per lap, but we're getting purple each lap now. And now we've got Blood Ace cut out of the pit lane, and Penske's jumped in. Will we get ahead of him? Not quite sure. He's gone very slow for a turn 2. There's a bit of a lag tap there, and we give him the position back, really. He went very slow on the exit turn 2. I was not expecting that, but I didn't want to get to the position unfairly by pushing him out of the way. That would have been pretty cruel. Now behind him at the next lap, I believe, and that was a very poor line for myself there. Cutting to Degler 1 and extending the exit as well. There's 2 warnings in one go, and that was my second penalty of the race. And on the very end of that lap, we got a 5-second stop go. So that lap there, lap 17, was a pretty shambolic lap on myself. Not only do we pick up a second 3-second time penalty, we have a 5-second stop go, which you will have to serve if we pit again, or it will be 5 seconds added on to the end of the race time. But Penske there, who's now in the lead, did get held up by Benny F1 a little bit, as Benny for some reason was trying to battle even though he hasn't pitted yet. Although he just ran into the gravel, so it made life easier for me and Blood Ace. We're really close to the top 3, as once again I set the new fastest lap of the race. And the top 2 are now battling pretty hard. Not really, they now are battling quite hard, as the rain is falling down. And we're just waiting in the wings as Blood Ace runs a little bit wide through turn 1. That might have been a warning for him, as the track limits are quite severe on this game. Yeah, they're not really consistent. Like, sometimes you can go wide a little bit and get a warning, and you go wide massively and you don't get a warning. It's kind of inconsistent, but whatever, it's just what we have to live with. As unfortunately Malgado there was starting to die. Not really the best quality, there's a few frames missing there. As a car there, back marker who went wide, as the track is getting very slippery, but Blood Ace is in the pits. He's pitted for the wet tyres, but I feel like it's a little too early still. A little too early to go for the wet tyres. Bear in mind, there are no intermediates, it's just dries and wet. So you have to wait till the track is pretty wet to switch onto the wet tyres. And I felt like the time was now. I locked up going to the chicane. I felt like it was too slippery. And we're going to the pit lane. We've got Pres BC a few seconds behind. He has no penalties, or one penalty I believe, so I was trying to extend the gap over him while keeping the other two and try and get on the podium. I didn't think I'd win this, to be honest, especially now with a 5-second stop-go, which we have to serve in the pits, which is really annoying, but it's just the way it is. And they're coming back on track now. That's done, so the 5-second stop-go is done, but now we've got VSC, and that has really helped us out actually. It's great timing for the virtual safety car. Even though we had a 5-second stop-go to serve, we might still get the jump on Blood Ace. And in fact, coming out of the pits now, he's nowhere to be seen. He's a few seconds behind us. So we have indeed got the jump on New Zealand Blood Ace. So he's either had a very poor outlap of his pits, or the track conditions weren't suited, or that VSC advantage has really gifted us at P2 there. So now we've got Penske up the road, as we only just slowed down in time there for the end of the VSC. It's about 25 seconds of the road, and he might try and stretch it to the end of this race. I know penalties-wise, Penske has the same amount of penalties that I do, 2 penalties each for both of us. Now that I've served my stop-go, and I believe Blood Ace only has 1 penalty, only 1 free second. So what we're going to try and do now is catch up to Penske, who is staying out by the way, and also pull away from Blood Ace at the same time. And let's see if we can do that. We've got a few laps left in this race. Can we get the win? Can we get the advantage over Blood Ace? Let's see if we can do it. So, lap 25 now. We're trying to push as much as possible. That's a back marker, by the way, not Penske ahead of us. As quite a few people are struggling in these conditions, and quite a few people going a lap down to us as well. And I'm really trying to push. I wasn't really happy though in these conditions. My car was sliding quite a bit, and it was very nerve-wracking, and I didn't want to lose it or throw away this good position, but I was still trying to push at the same time. As we go through turn 1 and 2, this is the final lap of the race. We're going to stay on board for the final lap, and Penske is still about 6 seconds of the road. That is him now ahead of us, but he is really struggling on his dry tyres. They're not suited to the conditions, and we are surely going to catch him by the end of this lap. Hopefully, probably about midway through this lap, to be honest. As I still want to make sure we have a good advantage over him, just in case we get another penalty or something happens in this final lap. Who knows? Knowing my luck, something probably will happen. And I believe we have now a 5 seconds gap over Blood Ace, so there should be just enough advantage penalty-wise. So I should get this win. We're all over the back of Penske now. He's struggling massively, and he's struggling out of the exit of the second deck. He actually moves aside to let me through into the lead. So thank you very much, Penske there. I feel like he definitely did deserve this win today, but it was a very risky gamble, staying out those dry tyres, and unfortunately it didn't pay off for him. As he almost loses it there, going through this, what's normally a flat-out right-hander, but that was a bit sketchy, and from here onwards, we just decided to just keep it careful, keep on the road, and not take any risks, not much too hard for the final part of this lap. As we're going to come across the line in a few seconds to hopefully take the win. Penske in P2 as Frizy there retires on the final lap. I mean, the rain is definitely hampering the progress of some people in this race. As we hit the braking zone quite nicely for the final chicane, it looks like it's been a Penske for P2, Blood Ace at P3, so good results from them. We're going to cross the line and avoid Frizy's car, which is parked across the start-finish line there. And has come across the line for P1 in this race, our first win in MRL. But Penske's got us. Penske has now got the win. And Blood Ace comes across the line. He's got the win! We've gone from P1 to P3. How? I was honestly speechless after this race finished. I fully expected to win. I knew I had the gap. I knew I only had 2 time penalties compared to, well, 2 for Penske and 1 for Blood Ace. I was speechless. I couldn't work out how I lost this race. And we're going to look at the timer screen in a second. Now, unfortunately, I feel like there's been a little bit of a glitch. I had a 5-second stop-go, if you remember. Due to that corner cut, it's just the way it is. Even though it's kind of severe, should have only been a warning. But whatever, it's a stop-go. I served it in the pits. Now, unfortunately, 5 seconds been added to my time. I've got 11 seconds of penalties, which includes 6 seconds with the 2 time penalties, that I picked up normally, and then 5 seconds to the stop-go. Now, I will send this to the stewards because I want my win back. By the way, that time difference between the top 3, a 10th of a second. Poor Penske only lost out by a fraction to Blood Ace as well, which is Really sad for him, but yeah, so as I was saying, the VSC came out during my pit stop onto the wet tyres. I feel like that might have nullified or discounted the 5-second stop go, which I served in the pits, which is a bit bullshit really, because I did fully serve it in the pits before the VSC came out. I mean, you can go back and look. That was the only 5-second penalty I got, by the way. I didn't get any of this during the race. I mean, you see there, I scrolled through my time penalties. I didn't get the whole race, but at least up to lap 20, I believe it was, I did not have a single penalty. You can look through the stream, I didn't get any penalties after that either. So, hopefully the stewards will see that. Hopefully I will get my win back. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this race anyway, and I'll see you guys for my next one, whatever, maybe. I need to upload AOR and SRR still, so hopefully you guys will see them at some point soon. So catch you guys later, Poms out.